fuck it, kill my enemy, drop the beat, fuck it, 내 solution 하시는 machine, suck on my dick, bitches are repeated, suck on my dick, pocket so late, shout out to those cars, the cutting. 누가니 하라고 셔정리, 애들아 주주야 니 이름이, 저리 샤레 왜서留给你 parkour 的 panel 的指人的天啊你，这圈子骗你忘记，全都是我的想要跟你打无罪，然后再带到你在附近，一点一点把你手跟就打过去，我在这谁不会追来，我在被你自己归过，我跟我弟兄和配合，你看你个人就像是个废物，少年要大大，谁都妄想能够暂时保证火花，是不是傻？人家不想弄砸的耍，要比我只有挨打。我真不想找你，把你当成谁的给你讲把你，去看到没有老子学的好的 money， 去的是求你妈的还要把你。现在这个游戏已经被我操控，天才类操作你肯定看不懂，不是一的人根本就耍不拢，头砸到你身上才感觉痛，请不要在背后叽叽喳喳，不得吓大，想过 happy， 闭上你的嘴巴，我不想听你的，觉得骂的这才是对的。现在除了下课吃饭睡觉都懒得，我的傻子你跑过去街头，看回各位时的胃口。Oh shit, fuck it, kill my enemy, drop the beat, fuck it, 你是雷手，我信都不信 ，suck on my dick, bitches are repeated, suck on my dick, pocket so late，一大的快枪 ，suck on me, fuck it, kill my enemy, drop the beat, fuck it, 你是雷手，我信都不信 ，suck on my dick, bitches are repeated, suck on my dick, pocket so late，这个上一个别的狗劲 ，Let's PSK, remember me, fuck that shit, man. We fuck it.
Yes, YouTube, what is good, and welcome back to another episode of Under the Lights. You find me absolutely cooked this morning from a leg session, which followed by 15 minutes of posing practice and half an hour of cardio to kickstart Saturday morning. So yeah, a little bit achy, but feeling good, really good. 3 weeks into prep now, and dropped quite a considerable amount of weight this week. I'm going to put the body weight measurements on for this week, but in my posing practice this morning, looked visually leaner, a lot leaner, which is good. So straight away, any sort of water retention and bloating seems to have dropped from this morning, and numbers in the gym are still holding and still progressing in some areas, which is very promising. It's been a bit of a tough week this week in the sense that we've had to adjust to a new job. So I've left the office job of being an estate agent for Your Move, and I've obviously started my first week working at Aldi for 25 hours a week, and then 12 hours a week at my local gym alongside my coaching and personal training as well. So very busy, and adjusting to different hours of the day in terms of when I've been working and where I've been working, etc. So gym session times have been slightly different, food timings, meal timings, etc. have been slightly different, but we've adjusted pretty well, and next week should follow suit in a very similar manner. So all in all, really happy. One of the things I was really worried about this week was the physical nature of being on a shop floor, heavy lifting, lots of steps, and how that might impact sort of my recovery and my training sessions. But the fact that the numbers this week have reflected in the fact that I'm still progressing, I'm still lifting well, shows that that's not going to have a knock-on effect, which is really good. So all in all, 3 weeks into prep, really happy. Doing a bit of a weekend vlog basically, and just show you what I'm going to be getting up to Saturday and Sunday. What we've done with my spray. Got quite a busy Saturday in the sense 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In the sense that we have got a consultation call later on this afternoon. Still got some steps to hit. And there's plenty of sport on to keep me occupied, which is great because the international break from last week is pretty poor, to be fair. It's absolutely boring. And then tomorrow is a rest day. So, because I've ticked off all my cardio for this week, I've done all my sessions. My check-ins now, my clients moved to a Monday, means that I've got a very, very restful rest day tomorrow. So I'm going to show you sort of differences in terms of what I'm eating on a training day with the increased carbs compared to rest days where there's obviously fewer carbs and higher fats, and how I sort of adjust for that. And it being Easter weekend this weekend means that obviously shops are shut and things like that. So I've had to do a little bit of food shopping earlier in the week. But my plan tomorrow is to go and have a nice stroll along the beach, along the seafront, if the weather allows. Find a good coffee shop to grab a nice black Americano to get my steps in, and just chill out really for tomorrow, because effectively today is still quite a busy day. So yeah, main focus, like I said, is just to show you what I'm eating, how I'm adjusting my food on rest days and training days with the increased carbs, and what I sort of do to work around that. And yeah, we'll just see what we get up to. Morning food wise has already not started off in the best possible light, because all of my carb light wraps that I've been having to bring my carbs down for the day are all mouldy, basically. They're 2 days out of date, and every single one of the wrap in the packet has got mould on it. So I've had to take one of my brioche burger buns, which means I've got to adjust about 12 grams of carbs for later on the day. So smaller portion of potatoes is going in tonight. But yeah, not ideal. Hey mum, just because you're away on holiday doesn't mean I won't keep the kitchen nice and clean. I've not had burger and chips for probably the best part of a week, which is an awfully long time for anyone that knows me. But it's almost like my off-plan but not off-plan meal, in the sense that obviously it's burger and chips, but it's just potatoes are being cut up, put in the air fryer, and then beef mince rolled into patties and put in a burger bun. Now this week I've been having fish, rice and broccoli, which has digested pretty well. And in terms of food volume, is obviously a lot less than like the starchy potatoes and the bread. So I am anticipating that scale weight could be up a little bit tomorrow because of that. But at the same time, I'm still within my macros, within my calories. And it's just nice to spend, I guess, Saturday evening having something different to what I've had earlier this week. Obviously, it takes a bit more preparation to plan this meal or to cook it. And certainly doesn't take long to eat it. But yeah, it's just a prime example as well of having one of your favourite meals, but in a healthier alternative. So rather than me getting oven chips from the supermarket and putting them in the oven to cook, I've just made them myself. Instead of just getting a burger or a McDonald's or Five Guys or whatever, again, I've just made it myself. Yeah, it's pretty good. This is my final meal. The time is just about 6 o'clock. So by the time I go to bed this evening, I should digest pretty well. But yeah, we're going to just watch the footy and get ready for the Arsenal game later, which is a big old quarter-final against Southampton. And although the quad is not on, the treble still is.
Yeah, well, going off Chelsea's performance, they're going to need, goals, excitement, and not just one answer.
pretty tragic. The quad has gone to the treble, has gone to a potential double in the space of 2 weeks. And it's why I was never really confident, because Southampton just seemed to be a bogey team for us, particularly at St Mary's. But yeah, that was just tragic yesterday. I've got grey hairs in my head of hair at the age of 30, and it's not down to anything other than being an Arsenal fan, because no other team in sport has probably gone through quite, I guess, the bottle job element of sport like Arsenal. And if we go this season without winning a single trophy after the start that we've had, then you might as well delete the football club. There's no coming back from that. That is tragic. And yeah, I've supported this club long enough to see how this story ends. But in more positive news, I dropped, I think, about £1.50 overnight, which was just mental, because I thought I was going to have a small gain from the information of leg day, and from having the starchy carbs with the brioche bun and the potatoes yesterday with burger and chips. So to see quite a considerable drop, I was pleasantly surprised about. Yeah, maybe it was just the stress of Arsenal losing yesterday that might have impacted that. But I had a small feeling in the end that I was going to lose a little bit of weight this morning, because I went to bed hungry. And that's generally a sign that I've lost a little bit of weight. So yeah, all in all, pretty positive. Actually, quite a big positive week in terms of scales coming down, visually looking a lot leaner, a lot less bloated. And despite my football team disappointing me like I'm used to every single year, physique wise has been pretty good. Had this morning, obviously you would have seen from the clip here, my omelette for breakfast, so no carbs have gone in the morning, because this is a rest day. What I generally do on my rest days, to really try and prioritize my training days for the following day, let me just change arms because my arm's starting to ache, is I will save most of my carbs for the back end of the day, because then by the time I wake up the following day, I should still see the effects of those carbs. So if I can push most of my carbs back for later on in the day, on a rest day, then that'll work well for the following day. So yeah, we're 2 coffees deep. We're in cheesy egg omelette down, and we're going to aim just to get a majority of my steps in this morning before getting a new client onboarded, because we had a call yesterday which was a very positive one. I'm really excited to get my new client started and get him working towards his goals for later on this year. And then I've got 4 hours in the gym, which is a little bit bleak on Easter Sunday, but is what it is. When you work a Sunday, these are the things you've got to contend with, like holidays and stuff like that. Yeah, all in all, it'll be a nice chilled Sunday, ready to check in with clients tomorrow, and round off what's been, other than the football, a pretty good Easter weekend. So I've just finished setting up the onboarding video for one of my new starters that's just started their coaching with me today. And I thought it'd be a good opportunity to run through basically how I onboard a client, and why the way that I do things is so much better than the majority of coaches in the industry. Because I very much work in a bespoke manner to each individual client, and don't just send out the generic copy and paste training plans and meal plans. So what I do with new clients is, when they sign up with me, I basically set out what's called an assessment week within their first week of coaching. Now, this assessment week very much allows me to identify where their currently starting position is at and how I can help them get from A to B. And the reason that I run this assessment week is because it allows me to see what their current nutritional habits are like. So their eating habits in the morning, during the day, on the weekends, the sort of things that are holding them back when it comes to their nutrition. Their current starting position when it comes to training. So what knowledge and understanding they have around training, what they've tried before, what they like, what they don't like, what access to equipment they've got. Are they someone that trains at home? Are they someone that trains in a commercial gym? And what equipment they've got available to them in terms of machines, free weights, but also what access to time they've got available to train as well. and then also a bit more of a questionnaire which goes into a bit more detail, following on from the questions that we spoke about on the consultation call. And all of this enables me to sort of paint a bigger picture from where my client is at, so that when I start programming them certain things, start working on them, on the things that they need assistance with, it's in a bespoke manner to them. It's individualized to them, because their issues, their struggles, their commitments, responsibilities are theirs, right? Then they're no one else's. So everything then becomes very, very much tailor-made. And you'll see from here, I basically send out a Google Drive link, which has got all the initial assessment forms and questionnaires in there. And each of them will feature a PARQ, basically, so physical activity readiness questionnaire, where they just have the questions on the PARQ. If any of them are yes, I always advise clients to go and speak to a GP or a doctor just to confirm they are okay to train and to work out, because I don't want to start programming them any exercises or workouts that are going to be detrimental to their health, particularly if they've got any health conditions. They'll also have a nutritional assessment, which is what they will do over the first 7 days. Which effectively is just a food diary. So they'll just keep a food diary and a log of the foods that they are eating, Monday through to Friday, the weekends, evenings, etc. And I'll always advise clients to be as honest, open and transparent with what they're eating as much as possible, because sometimes clients might start putting things on here that they think, as a coach, I want to see them eat. Or they'll start hiding certain things that they think I don't want them to be eating. But the reason that clients need to be honest and transparent with what they are consuming is because that's typically what their week to week is like in terms of food, and they're the things that are holding them back, and how I can then start helping them to start seeing some quick wins and to make some positive changes around their nutrition without ripping it up completely, because that sort of overwhelm early on is what causes people to not last very long when it comes to their physique. So they will do that over the first 7 days. The training assessment, which is what helps me to build out their workout plan, basically goes into personal stuff that I need to know in terms of the days they can train, the times for their training sessions, any areas of the body that they want to develop, ideas around splits, training styles, do they prefer doing higher reps for less weight, higher weight for less reps, etc. What knowledge they've got around sort of terminology and training intensifiers with supersets, giant sets, drop sets, where they're currently at the moment in terms of performing some of the big compounds, and then if they're training in the gym, what equipment their gym has access to. Now the client might not know if they are just going to start training at a new gym, which is why I will then just take where they are going to be training as that sort of base, because a lot of gyms will have like virtual tours online that I can then obviously view and start building up their workout plan off the back of, you know, what they've got available to them effectively. And then they will also have this client questionnaire, which, as I said, goes into a lot more detail following on from the questions that we speak about on the consultation call, and goes into a lot more detail in terms of their energy expenditure, so what they do for work. Are they someone that's very active during the day? Because someone like a bricklayer, for example, is going to do a lot more steps than someone that works in an office. Any health conditions, allergies, intolerances to anything. If it's a female client, if they have a regular monthly cycle, excuse me, and if so, when is it? Because that's really important. But then also looking into things like sleep, energy levels, their current hydration, caffeine, alcohol intake. We look at supplements, we look at their knowledge around food tracking, etc., etc. Because all of this, going into great detail, enables me to fully understand that client. So then when we start working towards certain things, we know what to work on and how to sort of improve on those. They will then have access to Trainerize, which is the coaching app that I use to run my coaching from. So this is basically where we will look at the data and measure the client's progress and whether they'll be able to access their training program on as well. And then when they get their weekly check-ins every single week, we obviously look through the data that they've inputted in terms of their food tracking, their progress photos, their steps, their sleep intake, if there's someone that measures that using a smartwatch. Obviously that's then how we create those results and know what we need to focus on for the following week to keep making progress.
or to make the week a lot more positive if maybe the week previously hasn't gone as planned. And then they'll have access to me via WhatsApp throughout the week for any further support and accountability that they might need. And yeah, that's effectively how we sort of run the first week of coaching. I just forgot to mention as well, just following on from that, I will then send a video, Loom video, basically just talking through what they need to do to start filling out those forms, that questionnaire, those data, etc. So that it's very, very much straightforward and keep things very, very simple. I would then send a separate video once their training assessment has been completed, sort of talking through their training program, what I've programmed, why I've programmed it, how it's to be performed, etc., and how we're sort of going to measure data within their training. And then when they complete their client questionnaire and their nutritional assessment within their first check-in, that will be then the base for me to start giving them some pointers, some feedback, and some things to work on to start making those improvements. So it's not too overwhelming too early on. It's very much fit around their lifestyle and allows them to start seeing some quick wins, generating momentum and having a base to build on, so that things are a lot more straightforward for them. Whereas previously they might have, I said, become quite stressed and overwhelmed by it, particularly on top of stresses of life, and be able to start making some progress off the back of that.
One of the things that I've been working on to try and improve the extra fine margins that come to my results is my rest and recovery, hence the blue light blocker glasses, which might look stupid, but they are fantastic if you are someone that spends a bit of time on their phone or their laptop like I do, working until sort of late in the evening, right up until I go to bed. So we are going to put these on, probably go to bed, well, and guess when I sort of fall asleep and drift off. Ready for a push session tomorrow morning and then a busy day of check-ins with clients. But it's been a nice, productive weekend. I'm feeling really, really good, to be totally honest with you. A day like today, where there are fewer carbs going in, does generally take its toll on me towards sort of midday and the back end of the afternoon. But that should sort of pick itself up tomorrow. But to be honest with you, 3 weeks into prep, I'm in a really good spot. I'm really pleased with how I'm looking. My performance in the gym is still really, really good. And generally speaking, the body seems to be recovering well. And yeah, just really, really happy with how things are going. So if you have enjoyed that video and the Under the Lights update, I didn't really use that for the intro for today's video because it wasn't doing that well, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to just provide updates in the vlog style because I prefer it like this anyway. So if you have enjoyed the video, please do leave it a like. If you haven't subscribed already, please do give my channel a subscription. My aim this year with YouTube was to get to 100 subscribers, and we are on 47. So my first sort of mini milestone is to get to 50. So if I can get to a half century before cricket season starts, then even better. But until the next video, see you later.